Have I got a chocolate and Tonka bean? I might just have a little chocolate and Tonka bean. I might do that neat right at the end as a little treat for me really. Hi, my name's Pete Richardson and I'm the CEO and owner of the White Rhino Gin Company Limited that owns the brand Urban Rhino. Why Urban Rhino? Quite an unusual name for a spirits brand. Well, I moved to South Africa in 2008. I had a golf PR and marketing company. This will all become a bit relevant in a minute. So I had a golf PR and marketing company, and I was introduced to a guy who owned a golf and safari resort in South Africa in 2008. I went out for a long weekend to look at the resort to see if I could help them launch to the world, and ended up staying for 10 years. As they say in Africa, the sand got between my toes. You either fall in love with the place or not, and I happened to fall in love with it. While I was there, I was helping to launch this amazing resort to the rest of the world. We had an animal rehab centre, looking after baby zebras and impalas. We even had some white lions, another story for another day. White lions, the children of the sun god. Google them. Have a look at white lions. The sun god sends the white lions to earth when he believes the earth needs healing. We probably need more white lions. I digress. So we had an animal rehab centre, and then the rhino poaching crisis started around 2008, building up into 2009. World Cup was in South Africa, the football world, the soccer World Cup in 2010. And after the soccer World Cup, it went nuts. I was then living on the resort with a colleague of mine, a great friend of mine, Harry, who ran the Wildlife and Cultural Centre. And he went in 2012 to the scene of a poaching. And Harry came back from that, really upset. A mother, a female rhino, had been poached. Her face had been sawn off with a chainsaw, leaving behind a baby rhino who was orphaned, obviously. And the guy who owned that reserve had no way of looking after the little baby rhino. And at the time, there weren't really any specialist centres that could do that job. So Harry said to a group of us, "Pete, guys, we're going to open the world's first rhino orphanage." And we all looked a bit blankly and were like, what does a rhino orphanage look like? Nobody had any idea. So we got some experts together and we built what was the world's first specialist dedicated rhino orphanage. And we called it, are you ready for this? The Rhino Orphanage. Classy, hey? I'm still very proud to say I'm a director. I had a board meeting while I was at the Ideal Home Food and Drink Show earlier this week, via Zoom. Sadly, I didn't fly out to South Africa and fly back. And so the Rhino Orphanage has been caring for and looking after orphaned rhinos for the past 13, 14 years. How does that link to me owning a gin spirit brand? Well, in 2023, March the 30th, it is imprinted on my brain, March the 30th at 1:03 at Table 8 at the Five Bells pub in Wickham, best Sunday lunch in Britain, the Five Bells in Wickham. I was introduced by a wonderful lady called Belinda Schaefer, who runs a rhino charity in the UK, to the owners of a brand called Urban Rhino Gin. She said they were retiring. They were thinking of potentially closing the business or moving on. Would I be interested in having a conversation? And I said, no, please, no. I had that conversation and 72 hours later agreed to take the company on, basically because it's got the word rhino in it. Simple, really. Serendipity, some people have said. Madness, others have said. So with a very little background in the spirits business, but a background in sales and marketing, and myself and my partner Sarah decided we'd give it a go. So we took on Urban Rhino. We rebranded. So we are now not like we used to look. We are now the colours of the African sunset. We started with just a London dry gin, for which in the first month, December 2023, we won a Spirits Business Global Masters Gold Medal, which we're extremely proud of. And then we sort of thought, very difficult just having a London dry gin. The gin market boomed, as you're probably all aware, over the last few years. So we looked to widen our product range. So we've since, over the course of 2024, launched an African spiced rum, a chocolate and tonka bean rum liqueur, and a dragon fruit, papaya, guava and lime gin liqueur. So what we've tried to do is put the spirit of Africa, the spirit of the Rhino orphanage in all our spirits. It's really important for us that everything we do now links back to Africa. So distilled in the wonderful Henley Distillery at Sonning, just down the river from where this is being filmed now, under the leadership of a wonderful guy called Jacob Wilson. We produce rather different spirits, and with those spirits we try and create various different cocktails. I actually believe that all our drinks could be drunk neat, so particularly the African spiced rum, which is flavours of Africa, so cassia bark, tonka bean, baobab fruit, ginger and orange, making quite an unusual flavoured spiced rum, but really complex on the palate, rather delicious. I shall make a cocktail with that in a moment, and we shall get all dark and horny. And this is our dragon fruit, papaya, guava and lime. What a magnificent colour this has come out. This is the colour of dragon fruit. If you've ever eaten a dragon fruit, they look a magnificent fruit, taste a bit dull if I'm honest. However, if you put them in an alcoholic beverage, it just tastes like summer. This has got the taste of summer, a bit dangerous, tastes like fruit juice. So I'm going to make a little cocktail with this as well. So we have our African spiced rum, we have our dragon fruit, papaya, guava and lime, which is a gin-based liqueur, chocolate and tonka bean, which have I got a chocolate and tonka bean? I might just have a little chocolate and tonka bean. I might do that neat right at the end as a little treat for me really. So, cocktails. You might have come across a dark and stormy, which is a rum cocktail. Our version is obviously the dark and horny. This is no relation to how you might feel on a Saturday morning. This is all about the rhinoceros. So, what's in a dark and horny? We take African spiced rum. There's no such thing in our household as a single measure of spirits. So this is a double African spiced rum in a rather nice crystal glass. Any glass will do. Ice. 1, 2. And since I took over the company, people laugh at me now. I've got very sexy chef's tweezers. I think these are important. All part of the image. Slice of lime. And I'm going to slightly mull the wine. For those of you who haven't been in the drinks industry for as long as I have, mulling is squashing. People like to complicate things, so it's squashing the lime. And then I'm not going to add lemonade. I'm going to find my ginger beer from our friends at Fever Tree. Other mixes are not available. And there we have a rather magnificent dark and horny. Your very good health. To the Rhinos. That's my favourite. Closely followed by dragon fruit, papaya, guava and lime. This is a gin-based liqueur. I've got a rather fancy glass for this one. So again, no such thing as a single measure in our house. However, you could do this with a single measure. This mixes equally nicely with Prosecco or champagne. Beautiful colour on that. There we go. So again, Cheffy tweezers, one block of ice, smaller block of ice, and again enhanced by a touch of lime, so a little squeeze of lime there. And now I'm going to enhance this, if enhance is the right word, with lemonade. You could absolutely swap the lemonade out for Prosecco, champagne. My partner Sarah drinks it with pink Guava. A little squeeze of the lime again, a little stir. How beautiful does that look? On a beautiful summer's day, let's drink again to the Rhinos. This is a dragon fruit, papaya, guava and lime, touch of lemonade, squeeze of lime, and now I'll taste in a second. Oh, it's a good job it's 7 p.m, isn't it? I'd get into trouble. So, finally, a little treat, probably for me. This is chocolate and tonka bean. So this is a rum liqueur. I'm going to steal this glass from a very, very posh party background. A rum liqueur. Now, we've been trying to work out for about 3 months since we launched this, which long drink would we make with this? And we've decided we wouldn't. So we just drink this. Oh, I nearly forgot. Okay, let's go free pour. Continental style. So we've decided we wouldn't mix this with anything because this is made with dairy-free Swiss chocolate and tastes like chocolate. So as a post-dinner drink, it was my birthday last Wednesday and I poured this on ice cream and then I poured it on Colin the Caterpillar with my ice cream. Smooth. Oh, that's delicious. So as you can probably tell, I'm quite proud of our drinks, all inspired by Africa. We are Urban Rhino. 10% of our profits go back to rhino conservation in South Africa. We have huge aspirations to grow our brand globally. We think Urban Rhino is quite a cool name. We've got some really interesting ideas to do with the U and the R and do some fun things. I must mention the tree on the bottle finally. So when we opened the orphanage, we commissioned a South African artist by the name of Warren Carey to draw one of the first rhinos in the orphanage, and we sold off prints to raise money for the orphanage. Sadly, that was a little black rhino called Stinky that didn't make it. He came to us really, really traumatized and really ill, so Stinky didn't make it. But when we rebranded, I wrote back to Warren and said, Warren, would you draw me an acacia tree? So the symbolic tree of the African plains. And so this is a Warren Carey acacia tree. So the spirit of Stinky lives on in every single one of our labels. So as we say at Urban Rhino, sip spirits, save rhinos.